The year 2000 was a trying time for all Fijians. Many watched as terrible forces began tearing at the seams that connected and held Fiji together.
Generally speaking, there were a lot of people in this country that were very concerned about where this country was going.
25 years ago, a new vision for Fiji took root: to empower, inspire, and transform lives. The birth of Leadership Fiji on the 6th of February 2001 saw the need for a different type of leadership, one that is not only learned but lived through action. We celebrate our journey, our impact, and the resilient spirit of our communities. Since the pilot Leadership Fiji program of 2002, just over 600 Fijian leaders have successfully taken root and are flourishing in various sectors of the country. Here is a look at the journey of Leadership Fiji. Our founders had a dream to create a platform for growth and transformation in Fiji. Their purpose was simple yet profound: to instill the principles of good leadership within every community and let that spark light the way for a brighter future for our beloved nation.
The program was created mainly after the 2000 coups. There was a feeling amongst some of our prominent leaders that there was a bit of a hole where leadership training was concerned, and basically the anarchy that went on after the 2000 coups, we just, wasn't acceptable. And we thought maybe if people were a bit better informed about the needs of our country and had a broader outlook on what makes this country tick, basically, if they were a bit more educated, maybe they wouldn't be so easily swayed by, outside influences.
It goes back to the year 2000, when a group of us got together and had a chat about future leadership in Fiji. And we came to the conclusion that while there are a lot of very talented people going through their various vocations, the problem was they are so totally focused on their vocations that they hadn't given themselves time to look at all the broader issues, the socio-economic issues facing the country. So they weren't rounded leaders. And what we hope to try and do is give them a greater perspective about some of the issues facing the nation.
The idea was Daryl and I go to Melbourne, go and look at the program, the Leadership Victoria program, and come back with a concept. Well, Daryl and I went, and I remember on the first day we sat there and we'd already compiled the program for the year. At that stage, the program was only going to be one program a month. Once we started the program, the first year's group, after this first session, they turned around and said to us, one session a month is not enough.
When you look back at the first, at least the first 5 years of the program, from 2002 to 2006, say for example, a lot of those people who were in those years are now heading big organizations, and they're in places of influence, and they're significant decision makers in a lot of the different sectors of the country. So they're contributing positively to big decisions that will move the country forward, and it has an impact in how the rest of Fiji is operating, and in the economy and the social context as well.
The program had sort of given me a wider understanding of the world, so to speak, rather than just the areas on which I was concentrating in the line of my career.
Just before I did Leadership Fiji, I was away from the country for about 15, 16 years. So coming back into the country, I was then put into the program. So it really, the biggest thing, the impact it had on me was that it helped me put down my roots again, helped me really and very quickly meet with all different people from all different parts of society and make connections with them. And I sort of felt like I was like a potted plant when I was traveling around, and then I got taken out and then got put back in the soil. And the biggest takeaway, that's the feeling that I got out of it, was like I'd been planted now and I could actually put my roots down.
After going through Leadership Fiji in 2008, I went back to USP. I did my professional diploma in business leadership way back in 2013, and from 2014 I started doing my MBA. Leadership Fiji did that for me. It opened, like I said, it opened my mind. to the possibilities that there are other things apart from the work that I'm doing, and I can contribute.
With every class and with every engagement that we have, we take something away from that. We don't wait for the end of the year to walk away and say, this is what I've gained out of Leadership Fiji. I think Leadership Fiji is gradually building us. It's gradually opening up our minds to Fiji in its current environment, past environment. It's putting thought into our head about how we want to see the future of Fiji develop.
Just reflecting on our 2007 year, it was different individuals, different strengths that they brought, to the table, very different perspectives on issues, and we had very good debate sessions. And at the end of the day, we would come to an agreement, whether it's to agree to disagree or have a collective agreement on different issues. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know that it has contributed to my journey as an individual, and as well as our team.
During the Leadership Fiji 2012 program, I was able to challenge my horizons. I definitely became a very strong networker over time. We were able to navigate complex challenges while we embarked on community projects during the Leadership Fiji 2012 program, which really enabled me to step out of my comfort zone, being able to adapt myself to different situations, and truly being able to give back to society.
When the participants come together at the opening retreat, one of the requirements that they actually come up with is their vision, how they want to see Fiji looking like in 10, 15 years' time. That then sets the scene for their entire sessions and programs that follow. They then are exposed to speakers, to site visits, and to community projects. Now, once they complete the program, they become alumni of Leadership Fiji, and then there's another year of fellowship, a year in which they then give back to the community all on their own without any structured programming. They come together, they define what they would want to do in terms of their fellows, giving back to the community. However, all of this that they do is aligned again to that vision that they set themselves the year before.
So my cohort, the Leadership Fiji 2022 cohort, in 2023 decided to do our project in the village of Vunidongoloa, now known as Kenani. This is the first village in Fiji and possibly the world that got relocated because of the impacts of climate change. This is one of the stops, and this is where, as participants, we get to understand and learn the real-time impact of climate change in our communities. So when we visited Vunidongoloa, for some reason, we felt that there was a connection with our cohort and the community, and we realized that this project could really be very impactful because for various reasons, and one of them being it was something that the community needed, so there was going to be buy-in from the community. With this project, the women's group was also going to be part and parcel of it. We felt that it was a more holistic approach. And if you look at where Vunidongoloa and the new village sits, it's sort of halfway between Lambasa and Savu-Savu. And so the idea of the project was to have a multi-purpose bus shelter which would have an ablution block as well, and which would also serve as a marketplace where the women of the community could sell stuff. And so being at the center point, so to speak, if the bus shelter had an ablution block and a bus was stopping, it would give time for the passengers to take a break, freshen up, and then carry on with their journey on both ways. And it was also a twofold where it would also give an opportunity for the women's club to sell produce or cakes or pies or anything just so that they could make an income, which was something that got affected when they were moved from their initial site. The other thing was, with the impacts of climate change, a lot of tourists and ecotourism was coming up in place. And so this served as sort of like a central meeting point where anybody wanting to know where the old village was or more about the relocation and everything could come to catch up with one of the villagers or a community member. And so it sort of ticked a lot of boxes in our vision, a very, I must say, large or momentous project, but we thought we might as well go big or go home.
The ideas and knowledge that was shared during the program really enriched on not only the decision-making process but also the planning part on my personal life, how to plan things and the execution part. During the program, I tend to know a little bit of knowledge on the stakeholders or the ministries that came during the program. They shared a little bit of knowledge when they came to speak, the speakers and also the SMEs on the street. This helped me understand on how the mechanics is done within these different ministries. So considering that, it helps me in my planning process and the decision that I make. I'm the first one from the RFMF. I was informing my CEO and of course the commander. We chat about it one day. And the feedback that I'm starting to give them, make them consider this course, that it should be a compulsory course throughout the years. And also our leadership, recognizing Leadership Fiji, that it can be a potential course maybe to develop the RFMF leaders.
Leadership Fiji has really taught me that being a leader is not only to direct others. I as a leader, I have to also continuously develop myself so I can be in a good position to serve people that I come into contact with in my line of work, and also aligning myself to organizational and national needs. I'm ready to commit myself to an increased level of involvement, to giving back to community through community affairs and other initiatives that I'll be involving myself now when I'm in Leadership Fiji and in the future.
Well, it's been an incredible experience from day one. For me personally, each year when we meet with the new group of leaders who are going through the program, it's really exciting and invigorating to see young Fijian leaders coming up and really showing tremendous energy and determination to make a difference and to grow our nation. And that's really what Leadership Fiji was all about right from the beginning. Now we can see alumni in the cabinet, we can see alumni leading many of our organizations, representing a new generation that is about to step forward and take Fiji into the future. Well, in recent times, Leadership Fiji has sought to spread its wings, so to speak, looking to take the message across the community, and adding to that core program, looked to take many of the lessons and the messages and repackage them so that they're appropriate for other leadership groups. Post-COVID, we did do a children's program, but in more recent times, we've focused on school prefects. We have a school prefects program in which we engage the alumni and we get out to schools around the country. We'd love to expand that, and we hope to expand that in the future. Then we have our corporate programming. So we have short workshops which we can offer to various organizations to help build leadership in the workplace. And the most recent is the addition of the Executive Leadership Program, which we're very excited about. This is focused at a slightly higher level. These are senior leaders themselves. They're already in senior leadership positions who perhaps never had the opportunity to do Leadership Fiji. Already some very interesting alumni who have come through that particular program.
In Fiji, it's very comfortable to be a priest because everybody respects you. We are a very churchy kind of cultured nation, and comfortable with that. But when you move beyond that comfortable zone, that's where new things come in. And so this leadership workshop is a little bit like that for me. At the first session, the other participants are coming from, hospitality, business, McDonald's, so I find myself really uncomfortable and asking, should I carry on in this thing? It was becoming very uncomfortable for me. A little did I know that the other participants too were very uncomfortable with my presence. But as the sessions moved on, I think the barrier, my own barriers, begin to fall. And the more I participated, the more comfortable I was with the other participants in the group. And one thing that was really good for me was to be in that environment where nobody relates me as an archbishop. So we're all on the same level. People who are probably successful in business, already in a good position in your work. My conviction is that we still should remain open to be taught and to learn other new ways how we can excel our leadership skills.
When we induct leaders, we always remind our students that they are hands, eyes and mouth to the rest of the students, and they represent the teacher's body out there when they do supervision of duties. And we are so thankful to the program that we get to engage our students in, where they learn more about their leadership skills, their leadership styles, and how to handle students in a day-to-day operations. And for our student body, after taking that program, we see that, like I mentioned, they're confident. The confidence is there, that they are able to be a great leader, a great role model to their students, and they are able to communicate the instructions from the teachers. When we organize school events, they are there to assist the teachers, one of which is when they approach to be MC in a program and leading up assemblies. I mean, they gain that confidence and something that we believe that they have learned from the leadership program offered by Leadership Fiji. And we are always thankful that that the organization is out there to assist us, especially training our leaders. I believe the students gain more confidence and they gain more knowledge of what leadership is all about.
A mindset or a skill that I have gained was my critical thinking skills. I've honed my critical thinking skills as well as the prefects, the body of our school. We work together collectively to tackle difficult issues, and because of this we have also able to come up with spontaneous decisions that are beneficial for our school. And it also bridges our bond together as we all know each other's weaknesses, strengths and personalities.
Since the training, I've noticed and felt that the prefect's body has become more confident and comfortable, especially sharing and discussing certain topics with teachers while maintaining that respectful boundary. I think my self-discipline has really improved, because I've noticed the value and the real meaning it is to be the head boy and lead the school. And it's really an opportunity that anyone should be grateful for, whether it be not only in school being the head, but also out there anywhere in the world, leading a firm, an office or business, or maybe even the country.
Today, we stand proud of the legacy built over a quarter century. One of evolving leadership and lasting community impact. From empowering individuals to uplifting entire communities, every step has been fueled by passion, resilience, and the unyielding drive to lead by example. Leadership Fiji isn't just about the past, it is about the future, our Fiji. We're building on our successes and forging new paths to ensure that every Fijian has the opportunity to lead, innovate, and inspire. We are Leadership Fiji, developing and enhancing the quality of leaders in Fiji.